Well, the moral of the story: don't use salt that's made for asphalt on concrete. I've got a little project doing today, taking out a concrete apron on the front of this pole barn. I'm going to set you up on a tripod. We're going to use the Bobcat full-size skid steer jackhammer coupled to the Vermeer CTX-160, and we're going to see if that Bobcat jackhammer will take all this concrete out. Goes around to the corner. I made a relief cut. The owner of the building, which is a friend of mine, thinks the concrete goes underneath. It's all one pour. So I did a relief cut going across the top so that the cracks wouldn't travel under the door into his epoxy floor that's on the inside. We set you up on this tripod. We're going to see how this thing does. All this has got to come out. It's all spalling. Over here is not as bad as what you've seen at the beginning of the door, right in here. Now he is going to be adding on to this and doing a roof overhang going across here and turning 8 foot wide, and he wants me to take this out. So let me set you up and see what y'all think. Hey ladies and gentlemen, this is January 28th of 2025. This is the same job location, but a different job. We are breaking up concrete in this open aired pavilion. It has one back wall that I'm trying to save. This is for a friend of mine. He's going to turn this open-aired pavilion into a barndominium. And I'm going to walk you over to this location and show you what we got to do. So we've got a 12-foot wide, 24-foot long stage. It's approximately 7 to 8 inches thick. This is 7.34 cubic yards of concrete. The concrete equation equals about 4,000 pounds per yard. So we had a plan that involved doing some cuts. As you can see, I did a relief cut on this back wall all the way down. That was like a time trial error to see how long it would take to physically cut 24 foot long. And this 24-foot cut took an hour and a half to do one cut. He was thinking about repurposing this stage in 2-foot by 8-foot blocks for footers for shipping containers. And we calculated that it was going to be 8 to 10 hours worth of solid cutting, such as you see here on this relief cut, to quarter this up and take it out in block form and repurpose this concrete for another project for shipping containers. He deemed that the cost wasn't worth the time to actually do this. So I'm busting out this concrete pad. We're taking it to a recycling center. I'm going to set you up on that tripod right there, and I'm going to see if this jackhammer on this Vermeer will... All right, so this relief cut that's right here, going up to the front wall, 4.5 inches deep. Let's see if I can get you to see that. 4.5 inches deep, and that was made with the steel TS400 chop saw with a diamond wheel on the front, and we did that cut dry. Cut it with the width of a 2x4, going up against the 4x6, and did that all the way down. And that is so that crack, when I'm jackhammering, that crack will relieve my brake and won't push into the metal and destroy the metal. Going by this concrete that I got here, it's a lot thicker than I anticipated. So let's see, that concrete is 10.5 inches thick on this very corner, and I estimated it at 8 inches thick, and apparently I am way off by 2 inches. This pad is going to weigh more than I anticipated, and there's going to be more concrete in here. Right now the Vermeer has 512 hours on it. I'm not going to video record all of this, but I'm going to bring you back on camera when I get all of this busted up. I'm working this way. If you notice, I started on the corner and I'm doing a semicircle line until I get over to this corner. Then I'm going to keep working back, semicircle all the way back to the very end until I work myself off of this pad. So I'm using the smoothness of the pad for the transition of going across with the jackhammer. This thing seems to be handling this big 900-pound jackhammer really well. I may put it on high flow. Right now it's on intermittent flow with the yellow lever on the top of the controls right there. I may put it on high flow, which will send 16.4 gallons a minute, and see if it does any faster at breaking this up. So I might bring you back on camera for that. Hopefully you all can hear me. When I first started going across, I started going back and forth in a semicircle to basically break up the pieces as small as possible and to give them a little bit of lift so that I had space, a gap in between each layer that I was actually row that I was breaking. So now that I've gotten all the way over here, I had to change up the game plan on this 12 by 24 pad. You can see now I'm breaking out strips, and the reason why is this Vermeer is a little long and we're running out of room. I want to keep the Vermeer on the pad until this is totally broke up. So I used landscaping timbers and a 2x4 to make a ramp to get up here. Well, now on that last run going across that you see right there, the back tracks are actually hanging off of this pad. So in essence of doing slabs, breaking up little strips, I can actually take the machine and turn it around and finish this whole thing out on a flat surface. You don't want to run your tracks on debris like this because it's a recipe for disaster. You will ruin your tracks, and at the tune of a little over $2,500 for 2 tracks and the sprockets from the Vermeer dealer, you don't want to ruin too many tracks doing this. So what I'm going to do is start the machine up. I'm going to give you a little bumper view on the back of this RV. I'm going to point it down at the jackhammer, and you're going to see the line approach going across. Right now it's not cracked. You don't see any cracks here, but I have a continuous line of holes going down the concrete pad that you can see. I've got her right now. She's set up on autopilot. I don't think Vermeer would probably like this very much, but I keep a clamp. Keep a little C-clamp. Keep a little C-clamp right up in here, and I run the clamp so the clamp's hanging out over this filter body, and clamp it around there so I'm not pinching any wires, but I keep it in there for cases like this when I'm using a trencher or I'm using a jackhammer. I can put her on autopilot, basically overriding a switch. You know, I could put a on-off-on switch into the underneath of the instrument cluster here. I probably will do that in the future, but let me start this thing up, show you what temperatures it's running, and get you on this crack, and we'll go ahead and proceed on breaking it. Okay, let's see how good we did with this thing. As far as the hose wrap, I've got 2 pieces of hose wrap. This one wasn't long enough, so I bought more, and it looks like the vibration is actually sending the hose wrap back up the line. If I'd known that, I would have got 1 continuous piece. As far as rubbing and chafing, this Vermeer CTX-160 has a real sharp edge on both sides of the loader arm, on right and left side. Now I put a rag around this and a zip tie. Let me show you what this thing was doing. These lines are a little warm. Got a little bit of chafing here. You can see some chafing going on right there. A little bit of rubbing going on right here. Most of it, the chafing was here. And this loader arm is very sharp. It would be nice if Vermeer would round these corners over, and I got a feeling I'm going to have to do that on the right and the left side. Yeah, this edge is not as sharp as this one. This one's actually jagged. Anyway, back to the pad. I've got it broken up in 3 segments, and I like doing this path first because it breaks a line and it sends it the opposite direction. That leaves room for the concrete to expand as you're breaking it and go that way. Well, going this far, I couldn't go any further with the machine because the tracks were hanging over, and I had to spin the machine around and then start breaking lines going this way and then breaking 3 individual pieces. That was the theory to my madness. I'm going to go ahead and swap out to the pallet forks. I'm going to load these big sections up. I should be able to get, as far as weight wise on my 10,000 pound trailer, I should be able to get 6,000 pounds of material, which I'm estimating to be these 6 chunks, 3 here and 3 here. We're going to try to divide this load up into 6 or 7 loads. I'll use the pallet forks as much as I can. When I come back to get that small stuff, we'll hook up to the grapple. I'll give you a little video of doing the cleanup and the load out on this dump trailer. Now, if you load this dump trailer wrong and you load from the side, dropping pieces this large and that large, you will destroy your dump trailer. So what we're going to do is come in here. Got a little grease on my hand. That's nice. Little monkey poop. But I'm going to ride the skid steer in here with the pallet forks and put them on the decking, and then give them a little shove and work them all the way to the front so I have an even load. And let me get you set up on the tripod and show you what it's about. Now, one thing I didn't say in the video that I need to elaborate is hours that it took me to break that 12 by 24 by 11 inch thick concrete pad up. I started with 512 hours. We got 515, so that's a little over 3.5 hours to break this pad up. Now, looking at the pad, I'm going to call it done on the break. Now, we got some cracks going in here, and I anticipate these pieces to come out fairly simple. That one will come out pretty good. The one I'm going to struggle with is around that conduit. I'm going to have to put some splits in it with a saw and chisel away on that side, and then chisel away on this side. I got to get that out too. That's going to be the hardest part of this whole job without tearing that conduit up. Let me get you set up on the tripod and we'll get this scooped up. full load. I don't want to push my luck and bust my trailer. I would venture to say that's every bit of 6,000 pounds. Let's take that to the recycling center. Well, it's January the 30th, the last day of the concrete removal, and so far I've gotten 11 loads. This last piece is going to be on a 12th load. I'm going to show you all the relief cut around conduit, and trying to be very careful to not damage the conduit, but get out the piece of concrete that's in between post to post. So right now I'll let the saw warm up. I'm going to get my dust mask on, doing this dry cut. And I'm going to do probably 3 relief cuts down this this block and take it out. Wish me luck. That was pretty successful. Let's see if I did any damage. That's pretty good. Thumbs up my book. Well, all in all, I think this demolition and concrete removal project went okay. I've got had 12 trips going to concrete recycling in Parsonsburg, Maryland, to get rid of the debris. I'm estimating it was probably right around 36 to 40,000 pounds total of concrete. This is the this was the stage area that was removed from this open air pavilion, and this was the front apron on the pole shed that I took out that went around this corner. And he's actually coming out 8 feet wide now, which is further than what it was, and 8 feet this way. Like I said, they're doing a roof overhang, like a hip roof coming off this corner. But all in all, it looks pretty good. See what damage did I do? It looks like some kind of adhesive. They put a piece of trim metal over top of the pressure treated 2x4. So we should be able to clean this up pretty decent. Did have one unfortunate thing happen to my dump trailer. Let me tell you about it. So yeah, it had something unfortunate happen on this job with my dump trailer. The very first load that I took to concrete recycling, I turned a sharp corner. It was sharper than a 90, and heard this squeaking going on. So got out, checked the wheel bearings, made sure that the temperature was good on the wheel bearings, and crawled underneath the trailer. And we got a problem with this tire. Let's see if I can show you. That's a brand new Michelin 225 75R16 LT tire, and I've wore the rubber right off the side of it. And I'm not sure if I've got a hardware problem or I bent the axle, but we have a rubbing issue. As you can see, we've got some rubbing going on there. That's the clearance that we've got, and you can see there is none. So I've owned this trailer for 25 years. I replaced the hardware on it, all the hardware, about 10 years ago. All the bolts. Now looking at it now, right there, you can see that. That tells me the hardware is worn out again. I've got to replace these shackle links, and probably the axle hangers, leaf spring hangers. Got to do some work to it. So it's going to be out of service for a little bit until I get this taken care of. But the main reason I think for the rubbing issue, let me lift the dump trailer up and I'll show you. It is a scissors type lift. It's a Parker performance trailer. Like I said, I've had it for about 25 years. Had a few repairs, a few modifications. I've got to make a new battery tray. As you can see, I've got it jerry rigged with jumper cables to a battery that's on the tongue. So I'm gonna do a dual battery tray. That's going to be up in a upcoming video. I'm going to put pallet forks coming through here, pallet fork pockets, the whole pallet forks on that side. The thing that I think has caused this problem, if you can see, you got an inner skin, you got a top fender. This inner skin is lapped on the inside. Well, if you look down this crack, they've got segment welds ever so often. You can see a little bit of dirt getting in there. Well, this one's pretty straight. If you look down that line all the way down, you don't really see a whole lot of waviness going on to these seams right here. It's all pretty straight. Let me show you this other side here. Okay. Segment weld, a little bit of a gap. Segment weld right there. Segment weld. Now you see dirt and you see sticks packed up into the trailer. Looking here, look down a little further, segment weld here. Now you can see some stone packed down in there. When you see that gap right there, that actually protrudes into the tire. So I've lost approximately 3/8 to a ½ inch of clearance for that tire. This is where it's rubbing. You can tell it's heating the metal up. If you look down here, you've got that lapped over this 6-inch channel iron frame. You can see we got a channel iron frame here. 6-inch channel iron frame going down. Well, they've got that lapped over by a good 3 inches. And my plan is to do a cut all the way across this fender, take the tires off, do a cut, and get this metal over the channel iron and then do segment welds and weld it back. That should free up the clearance that I've got on this side. And then doing the replacement hardware on this trailer, I'll find out if I've actually got a bent axle or not. Well, yeah, disappointing. So doing this transfer of concrete to the recycling, I had to end up going to a guy's house right past the sharp corner where the axle is shifting and starts rubbing. I went up to a guy's house. The guy's name's Don. He answered the door, told him I was a contractor, and I'm caught in a bad way right now. And I told him what happened with my trailer, and the tires rubbing, and told him the truth. I didn't know if I had overloaded my trailer or not. The trailer's rated, it's a 10,000 pound Parker trailer. It weighs 4,000 pounds empty, and I thought I had about 6,000 pounds in it, and it's quite possible I had 7,000 or 8,000 pounds in it. Now I'm getting ready to go to the guy's house and pick up the 2 blocks of concrete he let me put off in his yard to free up some of my capacity so that I can keep going and dump that load. So I'm getting ready to pick it up now. Well, this guy Don was gracious enough to let me drop these fairly large chunks of concrete off on his property. I'm anticipating we're getting ready to go pick up about 2,000 pounds of concrete. I've got the mini skid in the back of the truck, as you can see, or back of the trailer, as you can see, and I'm going to fulfill an obligation. So stay tuned and we'll load them up. We made a sharp turn and we're heading to Don's house, and you will see these large chunks of concrete coming up on the right hand side. Very gracious that he would let me put them in his yard. They are right by the telephone pole. We're gonna load them up. Well, moral of the story, don't overload your trailer, number one. Going in tight turns with the trailer with a load on it is number two. Cutting it too sharp with a heavy load, it's possible to cause physical damage to your trailer. Something that you're going to have to end up repairing. That's even if you make it back and you don't blow a tire. I was very fortunate to do all of the loads after the initial first load and realizing that I had a problem. I found out I can make all right turns. When I made a left turn, you could hear the axle shift, and that's when it started rubbing. Up and coming videos are going to be trailer repair, trailer modification. Look forward to that. Subscribe if you're not subscribed and you're interested in trailer repair. Be kind to each and every person you meet. You never know when you need to ask the favor of someone, such as I did today, dropping the concrete off in the guy's yard. Told him it would be there 2 days. Today is the second day. I picked it up. I will be delivering this to the concrete recycle on Monday when they open back up. Right now they're closed. I couldn't catch them in time. But the estimated time on doing the concrete breaking and the clean out was doing pretty good on time. The machine has got, I'm going to post the hours, the final hours right now. It started with 512. I'm going to post a picture of the hours, the final hours right now, right here. So all in all, it's almost 7 hours of runtime. Actually physically breaking with the hammer, you're looking at 3.5 on the pavilion concrete pad and about an hour and a half on the apron on the pole shed. So what are we at? 5 hours worth of break time, 3.5 and 1.5. So that's not too bad. Cleanup I think took just as long as the breaking. It's a monotonous job. Somebody's got to do it. You have the potential to make money if you own a mini skid. I hope you all like the video presentation of using a 900 plus pound Bobcat jackhammer, full-size jackhammer, on a Vermeer CTX-160. I wasn't sure if it would do it when I originally bought the thing. I am well pleased. I couldn't ask for any more from that attachment. It'll definitely make me money. If I can only keep from breaking parts and breaking trailers. I hope you all like the video presentation of breaking concrete. If y'all liked the video, please give me a big thumbs up. Consider subscribing to my channel for future videos on things that Working Man Ron Doyle does. Till the next time, stay safe, God bless. Y'all have a wonderful day.